Now we're supposed to be live. The YouTube is say going live, but I think now we are live. Hello everyone. So I will just wait for a couple of minutes. Now we're supposed to be live. Oops. Yeah, we were live. Confirmation. So, hi everyone, and welcome to Breakfast with Max. As always, it's a great, wonderful, amazing pleasure to spend this moment with you, to welcome you here. As always, it doesn't matter when you join, when you see this, you have already joined right now, whenever in time you may be seeing it. And doesn't matter, human, non-human, welcome. I love all and every one of you. Yes. Now, we're going to talk about identity today. Simply because I had identity all day long in my head. So I said, well, that's what we want to talk about. So let's go and let's talk about identity. But firstly, before going there, and as I am, I will talk about this probably at the end too. I'm just going already to remind about 28th for the US, 29th for everyone else. How to work. It's going to be a monthly happening. This month, it's on the 29th, October 29th. Europe, Africa, Asia, Australia, 29th. United States, Canada, Mexico, Brazil, Argentina. Yeah, if I say Brazil, I have to say Argentina too, because yes, or it's like taking sides. Americas, 28th. So yes, how to work. We'll have some fun into going into our lack or our expression of those things, and then write practical joke, practical work. How do we do? How do we express those things, and how do we turn them around so that we, first of all, we need to realize that we are doing it, and then when we realize it, we are also able not to express it in a lackful way, but we go into the expression of our worth. Because we are, as humans, very lackful, and so we are expressing it a lot. And most of the time, we are not realizing it. So we have to put awareness in it so that we can go into our worthiness, our abundance. Yeah, our abundance, which is everything. I own everything. And ownership is not possession. So, oh, that's good. I have to write that down. So I'm going into living some words. So yesterday I had an action has no meaning until you give it one. So what is it? Energy follows awareness. Oh, I'll now. Great. I lost that one, so I have to come back listening to this. Great. Well done. Anyway, doesn't matter. Yes. So this is right now, as I'm doing this, I am inviting everyone to follow And then I will put it only for Patreons. I'm doing this just, I think, this month, and then I will see. We'll see. Because I'm not going to decide now about any other time because it's done in the moment. So right, let's go into it. Identity. It's a very interesting topic because we have a lot of identity and we think that we have one, but we don't. We even don't have one. We have more emptiness than anything else. And then we need to create identity to put something into that emptiness. And it's there are it's so imagine, look at yourself when you react at something, when you create something. Today we were discussing and we were saying that we are drama queens. Humans are drama queens. And you have to imagine that drama queens is really related to the multiple identity, all the shit that we are inventing for ourselves in order to create identities, because that's all we're doing. Wait. I'm thinking, right, all the discussions, all the things, all the drama that we are having in our lives, and that we put so much weight on, like if that was so important and that there were no tomorrow without that. Like if creations was going to stop because my wife is late with dinner. Oh, I was late at work. The train was delayed. Terrible. And I go on discussing that with everyone I met. Oh, our train system is just shit, and they always are delayed, and this and that. Right? See the identity? It's just identity. Is that important? No. Is the train delayed? No. The train is exactly on time when you made it come. You created when you wanted to have it. As you see, this has many implications actually, because it's not only the fact of creating an identity, it's also the fact of refusing at the same moment reality. Because if you go like that against something that is happening to you, you are refusing reality. You're not accepting reality, but in the end of the day, what you are not accepting is yourself. Because whether you realize it or not, you are a creator being, so you are the one creating that you are complaining about. So that is your doing. And then it's your interpretation, and then it's you refusing it, opposing reality. So in fact, you are refusing yourself. So when you are doing all that, is always about you, right? It's not about the train system. It's not about your wife, your husband. It's not about your family. It's not about the president, the government. It's not about whatever. It's always about you. Because that is one thing that is difficult to grasp and to stay into the awareness of. It's that everything that you are creating an identity with, it's about you. And you are making it about you because you are using that to make an identity for yourself, to give an identity for yourself. So that becomes about you. That becomes a reality. That becomes your cycle. That becomes something you are holding and not letting go. Wow. There are someone said, if anything happened to you, and ask yourself is if it's worth spending more than 5 minutes thinking about it, talking about it, or anything. Most of the time, it's even not worth 1 minute. So if you are 1 day later still discussing it, thinking about it, being on it, and it's something that is absolutely not worth spending all the time, what are you doing? Why are you doing it? And still, your behavior gives the impression that that is so important, that it is so important that everything around you should stop. However, creation doesn't stop. The word universe doesn't stop on your problem. No one is interested on it. And even you're not real interested in it. However, your identity, your personality that you have created for yourself in that moment or in that occasion, following that experience, well, that self is holding that. So you are holding a personality, you are holding an identity. And believe me, all that you are so desperately giving importance to, it's only creating you an identity. And generally, when you do that, you are not aware of that because you keep doing it and you keep staying into that. It's human behavior. It's human. Yes, it's absolutely true. It's the way humans choose to do things. Absolutely true. However, there is a difference between going into awareness, enlightening yourself, so being in a position where you are doing a work on yourself, and the position of someone that is completely unaware of anything, those that are completely immersed into the illusion, because this is a illusion. It's real, but still a illusion. It's created. It's our creation, right? It's real, but still it's a projection. So right? What do you do with that? How do you go? Where do you go from there? Being lost into Being lost into your illusion is okay. It's not a problem. Many people are doing that. They are there. It's one of the reasons why we are here, right? But then, yeah, the human experience. But then, the awakener, the light bearer, it's another thing. It's also an experience. It's also something that we want to experience for ourselves. But that goes into awareness of the self, awareness of creation, awareness of what we are, awareness of God. So when you are in that stage of your creation, of your awareness, you are in a position where you are aware of yourself. So you are also aware of what you are doing. Or you can have an idea, you can have a projection, you can have anything like that, but you are not unaware. You have the tools to work on that, on yourself. So at that, in that stage, in that position, you are then able to work on these things, to look into these things, to realize, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Why am I reacting in this way every time this happens? Why do I go into a rage? Because all of that is still and always an identity. It's giving yourself an identity. So at this stage, you must be aware that the emptiness is not real. We're not empty. The emptiness is felt by those that are unaware, by those that are completely immersed into the illusion of this being a externalized reality, a real, physical, externalized reality. But that doesn't exist. There is nothing outside. It's physical, it's real, but it's not external. Or more than external for some, maybe sometimes, or to give more understanding in it, is to use the independent. It's not a independent, externalized reality. It doesn't happen independently from your creation. It happens internalized in your creation. Internal, external, it's still giving an idea of space, which doesn't exist either. So it's difficult, right, to really, human words. Nevertheless, the idea is there. The concept is there. The fact is that this is not outside. It's not independent. It's happening. It's real. But not physical, external, real. It's internal, physical, real. So that becomes the point. Most important is to recognize that we are not empty. The emptiness comes from the identification that we give to ourselves in the externalization of reality as being real and external, and where we are absolutely not important, because as it is external, there are always other people that are more important than us, children, husband, wife, parents, family, work, the company, all things that receive priority from those that are empty and are creating, because those are all identity, right? Identities that are created in order to fulfill, to put something into the emptiness that people are feeling. That is why there are so many identity, and one doesn't have just one identity. One has so many identities. The identity of the wife, the husband, the identity of the parent, of the child, the identity of a grandmother, grandfather, cousin, worker. I'm a actor. I'm a doctor. I'm a community service provider. So job identity, right? I'm a voter. If you don't do your political job correctly, I will not vote for you. Oh, you have to do this, to do that. I'm claiming my position. I'm debating you. I am right. Oh, I am a Catholic. I am a Christian. I am a Muslim, Jew. I am all identities. All identities. How many of those applies to one person? And that is even not 1%. There are so many others. Identity and all of that. Oh, I'm already tired. I'm already tired with just that. Oh, hello. Sorry, I have taken my spectacles out. Annette, right? Yeah, I have my right identity. Hello, Annette. Welcome. Yes, right. So I'm already tired just to go through those things, but it's the use of it, it's the necessity of that, because there is a emptiness that is created in the denying ourselves. You cannot be settled in what you are. You cannot be sure in what you are. You cannot be it when you keep externalizing your reality. You cannot have your own real, complete be when you are externalizing reality. Because when you are externalizing reality, you are saying that you are nothing, that you do not exist for yourself. It gives you nothing. It's very sad, actually, honestly, because it's these people are simply not seeing themselves. Well, we are not seeing ourselves, but right, the creator doesn't see itself. The creation has no notion of the self. The creator is the self. It's a huge difference. It's and I'm talking about it, so I'm not talking from a point of view of I am, right? Because I'm talking about it, because the creator, right? It has to be clear. I am is a state of, right? It's the creator being. it's being. It's not thinking, it's not debating, it's not right, it's nothing of that. When you are I am, you simply are, and you don't talk about it. Don't make mistake. You do not talk about the self. You are, right? But that's where we are aiming. That's where we are going. With all of the ascension, with all the work we're doing, with all the movements that we have inside of ourselves, we are going there. We are already able to express it. But obviously, when we express I am, we are not conscious of doing it. Why? Because there is no need of consciousness in I am. You are only, right? You are I am. You are being. So anyway, so you see that's why I'm emphasizing the difference between those that are doing it, so those that are awakening and that are in the movement of this, right? We are already giving ourselves, right, the understanding of the self. We are doing it, and it doesn't matter what you do understand yet or what you do not understand yet. Doesn't matter. It's not a question of putting levels or whatever, or giving grades or saying, oh, you're good or you're not. It's no, because we are not, right? We are not lacking time. We have all the time because time doesn't exist. So we are not running for anything. We are already doing it, right? But that's why I'm emphasizing the difference between this and the complete immersion into an awareness and into externalization of reality, because that is what it is. And let's be honest, let's not just bypass anything. We are all at a moment or another externalizing. Even when we are aware as humans, as we have been taught to externalize, we do it sometimes, even though we are aware, right? We know that reality is inside of it. It's our own job. However, it happens. And I've seen so many doing that. But it doesn't matter, right? We're not here to be, it's not about being perfect. It's not about not making mistakes, because we're not making mistakes. We're having experiences. So let's do it, right? Let's have the experiences, right? Because that's what it is, us having experiences. So let's not just pretend that we suddenly awaken and we are perfect. That's not the awakening, right? Because the thing of thinking, oh, now I'm perfect, well, that means that you are not. And I mean, who cares? Who wants to be perfect? There is no, I mean, right? We have no end game. We have no, so why aiming or pretending? We're not. We're here to have experiences. So let's keep having the experiences. And part of the experiences is to have those experiences in order to even see much more of ourselves. So don't worry. Don't worry about that. But the external, right? The unawareness in the being immersed into the externalization. The externalization is actually, first of all, it's in itself an expression of lack, because it cannot be anything else, because there is nothing outside of you. The belief that everything is outside of you, it can only be lack, because you are putting your reality where there is no reality. And actually, right? And all of that is the thing is that it's a illusion over an illusion. But the externalization is also what is the misunderstanding that we have taught, right, to ourselves. It's part of the game. That is what we have to see and to admit. It's part of the game of separation, or the illusion of separation, right? The belief of separation. We are not separated. We are already one. And we have always been. With ourselves first, then with all there is. But even though we are already, all of us, all of me, all of you, we are already here. We are already representing it. We are already being it. We still are here, having our experiences. So you see the fear that some TV show have exposed of losing ourselves in the wall is only a fear, because it's not real, right? The idea expressed in Star Trek with these beings called the Borg that are a collective, and they become these beings controlled by the center. That's bullshit. When you are part of a collective, you maintain yourself. You are you still. You do not disappear. You do not go. You are not sucked in by the collective. And how do we know that? Well, aren't you listening? Aren't you now? Well, that's your proof. Because you are already part of the collective. Whether you can feel the collective, whether you are aware of the collective or not, doesn't matter. You are already in the collective. And still, you are you. So you are not lost in the collective. You see, this is the thing. That it's really, right? Then we have to make the difference between what we are expressing, what we are, and what is fear. So, and fear is what? Lack. Completely lack. It's and fear is, as the wonderful Roxanne says, well, fear is not happening now. So fear is about something that is not here and now. Never. Because when something that you do not like, that you could have feared, right, is happening, you are not in fear. You are having the experience. So that's not fear. You cannot fear something that is happening, because it's happening. The fear is about something that is not here now. So the externalization is something that it's really something that I perceive as something that we have to understand and we have to talk about, because it's not yet really understood in its fullness what it means, right? Because the internalization of reality is the consequence, the direct, right, of the laws. I exist here now. So it's me, and I exist, and I am here and now. My reality. It's this, and I'm doing it. I'm creating it. So that means, right, internal. It's me doing the job for myself. There is no one else doing it for me. And then there is that we need to put in there the understanding that because the human is doing what? The human is saying, "Oh, I'm in creative being. I'm God. I'm that. Oh, that means that power, right? Power. I'm powerful." But when human says powerful, what does human see? Human sees abuse of power because they go instantly to what? Government, hmm? um, government, war, politics, religion, right? Those things. You going there and think that stuff. That's not power. That is not power. Violence is not power, but it's not power. No, power is not express. Power is being. I am. It's a state of full awareness of the being. Power is creation. But power is not expressed against someone else. There is no against. There is no being superior or inferior or giving it away. That's not power. That's illusion. Because we cannot give away our power. It's a illusion. It's created for the experience. It's done for the experience, but it's not actually real because you cannot give away your power, right? These things, and you see that these things happen for what? For identity. Where we're always there, because power is the physical power, right? The physicality of power. It's an identity again. It's one creating an identity for themselves. I am powerful. I am over you because I'm president. I am over you because I'm prime minister. I am over you because I'm the pope, or I'm I don't know, any religious figure or political figure or whatever. They're not. It's an illusion, and that's where we go into what is my creation. Why is that in my creation? Well, because creating our reality doesn't mean building walls. No one is building walls. Everyone is interpreting the walls, right? Creating your reality is interpreting what you attract through what? The filter of your belief systems. It is why certain things appear to you in a certain way. But to someone else, they appear in a completely different way. But you will never be aware of that different way because you are only aware of what? Of your own reality. So when we realize how much we put into giving ourselves a identity for everything, it is not only playing the game, it is going into the drama. Back to that, drama queens. Because we are doing it on purpose. That's why drama queen is a good way of expressing it, of saying it. Drama queen. Around what? Well, I guess that most of us do not even remember what happened that made us creating an identity. It just happens. And then keep going. But the reality is that we forget because it's really not important and because it's not now. Because nothing is important except what? Except that you say is important. Not because it's important, but because you say it's important. Energy follows awareness. So how do you maintain an identity? Well, energy follows awareness. So as long as you are aware, you are feeding that identity with energy. Yes, because that is all about it. Energy follows awareness. Why is this in my reality? Well, energy follows awareness. Stop feeding it, and it goes away. And yeah, it's not always that easy. There are things that are more linked with our global consciousness, and as we are attracting it, as long as it stays that our global consciousness received the awareness of many beings, that remains as part of the awareness. Good, but you still don't need to feed it. Global change, you do not need to feed it. The plastic, you do not need to feed it. You see, there was no problem with the plastic until they said there is a problem with the plastic. And as then people are said, oh, there is a problem with the plastic. 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 There is a problem with the plastic. Yeah. That's how you have the problem with the plastic, because energy follows awareness. Is there a sea of plastic in the Pacific? Not in my reality. I don't see it. It's not here now. It's not here. There is no plastic in the Pacific. There is no plastic everywhere. No, there isn't. Until you say there is. Energy follows awareness. You cannot go around that. Nothing exists until you say that it exists. Energy follows awareness. So your identity exists when you say it exists. That is what that means. And even if you have been told you have the awareness, you know, oh, climate change, oh, I heard about that, right? Is it real? Not in my reality. And I'm not discussing science or all of that. Because what is that? The illusion. That's all that is. Part of the illusion, part of creation, part of things that are out there. But there is none of that until you say there is. When you stop saying, when you stop focusing, well, it goes away. That is the same with identities. The identities go away when you stop focusing on them. It's not right or wrong. It's all experience. Right? You have to say that. It's all experience. So when I'm expressing a identity, I am having an experience of that identity. Now, I can still have the experience. I don't need the identity. because reality, creation happens anyway. The identity is not a necessity. I do not need to have an identity of victim. I do not need to have an identity of perpetrator. I do not need to have an identity of guilty or whatever else. I can still have the experience. Completely and totally, I still can have the experience. I'm having this experience. Always. Because that identity is not a necessity. The identity is what is created in order to not feel the emptiness. I mean, I don't know, give you examples. Are you straight, gay? Are you those things? No. But why do you? Because you need what? An identity. Debating. Is it necessary to go into a debate about whatever? No, it is not necessary because you cannot change the opinion of someone else. They have their opinion, and that's all. Are you changing their opinion? No, you are not. So you are giving yourself an identity. The savior. I'm saving the world. No, it's what? It's giving an identity. You can share your light without giving yourself the identity of the savior. You can have an experience without becoming a victim. You can have an experience without being a victim 20, 50 years later and having been there for 50 years. Oh, I was done this. Right? You had an experience. Use your experience, be the experience, accept the experience, because those identity are not identity of acceptance. They are identity of refusal. The victim is the refusing the acceptance of what happened. So they are refusing the experience, they're refusing themselves. Again, the victim will see it as a negative thing. Good. Darkness. Good. And still, they created it. Oh, it was no one else creating it. It is always the creator creating the experience for themselves. Then there is the interpretation. So, the victim is interpreting themselves as victims. The perpetrator is interpreting themselves as perpetrator. Right? All what? Identity. You can have those experiences. You can be sad about that. You can be angry. You can be everything you want about all of that, and rightfully so. Right? It's an experience, a human experience, and then you express emotions. What you do not need is the identity. You can have those experiences without the identity. And very often, then, there it is, holding the identity. And you see, very often we say, oh, this experience should have killed them. How can they survive this experience? Well, I can tell you why they survived that experience. though that was something that was so terrible because of the identity they gave themselves. 20 years later, they are still talking of themselves as victim of that situation. So that means that they are holding that, and that is what made them survive the situation. The identification, right? But understand me here. Be subtle and be clever. I'm not speaking about the creator here. I'm speaking about the fractal, holding the identity for 20 years. An identity that they could have identified and worked on very, very long ago by accepting the situation. There are ways to accept, because that is what is holding us in a cycle, is the refusal. And that identity of victim is a refusal of reality. And yes, the situation is hard. Yes, the situation is painful. Yes, all of that. But we are creator beings and we are going into awareness. We are aware of ourselves. We cannot keep ourselves in the denial of that and into the pretending that remaining a victim for 20 years is fun. And that is not an identity of someone that is holding something and refusing to move on. We have to see that, not to judge that. We have to see that because we have to see it first for ourselves. And yes, sometimes it takes 20 years to a human being to move on. And we have to see the perfection of in it. And that is exactly what they decided to create for themselves. It's not a judgment. This has to be always taken back to the self. It's not about them. It's always first about us. And when I talk about identity, it's always first about myself. And when I talk about victimization, being a perpetrator, all of those things, first it's about myself. Oh my goodness, I've held stuff for a very long time. Human perspective, right? Time. Yes. Creating identities for myself. Believing being the victim. Yes, I did that. Until I realized that I'm not a victim. I cannot be a victim. Because I'm creating my reality. And all that pain was not inflicted to me. And I didn't inflict it to me. I interpreted it. It's interpretation. I never suffered. That's the truth. Not as a creator. The human did suffer. Yes, the human suffered. But because the human chooses to suffer and to keep suffering. That's a choice. But now we are in a place where we can choose differently. It's a choice. We can put our awareness in ourselves, in the realization of the creator, right? That's where we can put our awareness. Why will we keep putting our awareness, so our energy, in stuff that are not serving us, that we do not need anymore? Do we need to suffer? No. And the guides are telling us suffering is not a necessity. You can achieve, or you can arrive to the awareness of the self. You can ascend without the need of suffering. It's not a constant, it's a choice. So you see, letting go of that is not doing disservice to ourselves. So that those identity are not a necessity for none of us. That is what that is. The realization that I had when I realized how the beauty of human, the beauty of being a human being. Oh yeah, we have a lot of flaws, we have a lot of, yes, but it's not that. It's simply the beauty of human. The human being is beautiful. The rest is interpretation. Yes. Oh my goodness. When I watch all of those things, oh no, all the TV shows and stuff, TV and even when you go out and seeing all of that, but then, yes, right. But that is what creation, attraction, right? Is that a mirror? Maybe, only if I say it is, right? It's it's there. It's attraction. It's creation. But it doesn't mean that everything is horrible, that everything, it means that that is out there. Yes, it exists, and out there, understand, it's in the reality, it's our reality, we have those things, but those things are only interpreted. There is still so much about them, demons, hell, and the evil, and all of that, and those things are only interpretation. There is no darkness. There is no one that is holding us back. There is no one that is controlling humanity. There is no one that is controlling anyone. There is no one that is making anything to anyone. We are having experiences. But you see, that is the thing. It's the beauty of human. It's the beauty of this reality. It's the beauty of being here. We choose it. And when we stop holding ourselves back with all of those identities, with all of those, and we start seeing our power. Creation is our power, all of it. And all of the technology that we have to create our reality. We already have it, and we are already using it without knowing it. But this is our work, our job. This is what we do. We create our reality, and we do it with passion, with absolute passion and unconditional passion. Right? We are doing it. So all the rest is drama, queens. It's identity to have an experiences, right? Good. But then all that sadness, all those things, right? Experience, human experience. That's the thing, right? Let go of that interpretation of those things and go back to you, to the self, to the self. And when you do that, you center yourself to yourself and you make your reality, well, what it is, you. And you start allowing yourself the acceptance of all of it, with no judgment. And that you see that as right, and you accept you as the creator, and you realize that the truth of it is that you will never do anything to yourself, right? That to really harm you. And the reality of it is that you're still here. You're always here, and you are interpreting those things for whatever they are. But you are also interpreting yourself. But what is that? Right? So in the end of the day, when you take all of that away and you leave yourself with you and only you, and you accept your beauty, you accept yourself, and you accept all the rest. It's not that you have to crash on that. You just accept it for whatever it is, and you let go. Any judgment, anything. You simply accept everything for what it is. You see the beauty. You are beautiful because you are. And it's not an identity. It's simply what you are. And it's full of love. So human is not that terrible thing. Human is beautiful because you are beautiful and you are a human being. So it's beautiful because it's you. And with that, you realize that you choose to be a human being. But the experience of human being is not an experience of degradation or of diminishing ourselves or being less than. Oh no. We are absolutely equal to any other being. It's not a question of dimensions. I don't give a about dimensions. Because those things are certainly important, but they are not defining better or worse. Those things are vibration, different vibration. That's all it is. The first, second, third, fifth, seventh, ninth, that is human. We have to realize that is our definition, our interpretation of that. Other beings, they don't give a about that because they are not counting those things. State of I am, that right, of being. They are being it. They are not. They are not even discussing or wondering. They are not watching around there saying, "Oh, you are 8th dimension. Oh, I'm 12th dimension. Oh, you are 3rd. You are 5th dimension. Oh, I'm better than." Right? They are not doing that. That's human. The human experience, right? But it's not to say that the human experience is less than that, because the human experience is created as a experience of forgetting, of not knowing, right? So that is it. What we want. This is exactly what we wanted. This is exactly why we incarnated ourselves in this adventure that is human being. So there, you see, that is what it is. You see, that doesn't mean that we will remain unaware or forgetful forever. That's our state right now. We are evolving. We are. And what we are doing, we are remembering. And remembering the self, being aware of the self, etc., etc., which is the ascension. That is the ascension. So when we are looking for going somewhere or this whatever around ascension, oh, no, 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 no. That is not what that is. Ascension is what you're doing right here, right now. We are having a ascensional experience right here, right now. This is ascension. Being aware of you as a creator being, as God, that's ascension. Then you have many other aspects of ascension, which it's the change of your body, and your body changes. You have symptoms of headache, or you can have your body feeling, your muscles, your skin, those things, because we change our body, right? That is part of the ascension too. Or in the energies, we feel the energy differently, so we feel them excessively for a while, and then it goes away, right? We say, oh, I'm sick. No, I'm not sick. I'm simply ascending. And so I have what we call ascension symptoms, right? But ascension is not limited to that, and that's why we are doing it, right? And it's not that extraordinary thing, this flash of light, whatever that some are trying to sell, fear-based, because that means that if you don't have a certain level, if you haven't graduated, you will not ascend. No, we are doing it, and everyone is doing it. Or I should say everyone has already done it, because we're here, right? We couldn't be here if we didn't already exist everywhere. But we are already existing everywhere. So our ascension is not a place to go. It's not a graduation to obtain. We already are. This is time, and in time, you use time to achieve something or to do something, right? Because we are validating time. But the creator that we are is not in time. Good. I think that this is all. Yeah, all right. The light, and you are sharing your light as a creative being. That's what we do. We share as humans, as in this reality. That's what we do. We share our light, and we are already doing it. Cannot not do that. And that's absolutely enough. Right? So see your beauty and allow yourself to be more kind and accepting with yourself, because the judgment, we think that we're judging others, but we are judging ourselves. So let's take this moment to acknowledge ourselves, to acknowledge our beauty, to acknowledge our love, and to acknowledge that we are. And we're doing it. You are doing it. All right. So thank you for joining and to spend this moment with me. I'm very, very pleased and very grateful for spending this morning with you. So I remind you again, 28th and 29th. So 28th for the Americas, 29th for the rest of the world. How to work. We're going to experience, right? To go into the experience in recognizing our lack and then transform it into worth. So in the I never know what I never know what that is. I'm always oh my goodness, what is that? It's not the comments. It's the description. Oh. In the description you have the link. You can go on in my website and you have you can then subscribe and join us, or you can also through my Patreon. The patrons have access to this to this group session. So how to worth every month. This month 28th Americas, 29th rest of the world. Let's have fun in discovering our, or confirming or recognizing our worth, our abundance. Okay. All right. So again, thank you for joining. I love you all. And it doesn't matter when in time, you are already here with us, co-creating this moment. Humans and non-humans. So I will see you in the next moment. I love you. Bye-bye. Okay, we go here and stream and